Breathe in. Breathe out. No time except this time. No day except this day. No moment but this moment. And in this ever-flowing continuous moment, you have arrived. Breathe. 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 Breathe.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. All over the world, we're seeing the devastating impact of this invisible killer. Without a huge national effort to halt the growth of this virus, there will come a moment when no health service in the world
This is a unique virus with unique features. This virus is not influenza. We are in uncharted territory.
The number of new infections continues to surge. More than 90,000 people have been infected in 73 countries and territories. The death toll has exceeded 3,000.
As bad as some people think it could be, we're working very closely with them and with a lot of other people, a lot of other countries. His duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. All Americans were rightly sickened and revolted by the brutal death of George Floyd. My administration is fully committed that for George and his family, justice will be served. He will not have died in vain. We cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals,
we are now in the process of defeating the radical
state and local governments have failed to take
the
necessary action to
the
safeguard
agitators,
their
the looters, and people who in many instances have absolutely no clue
domestic
what they are doing.
The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. America needs creation, not
We will
destruction.
never allow an angry
Cooperation,
mob
not
to tear
contempt.
down our statues,
Security,
erase our
not
history,
anarchy. Healing, not
indoctrinate our
hatred.
children,
Justice,
or trample
not chaos.
on our freedom.
This is our mission,
In every age,
and we will succeed.
there have always been those who
100%.
seek to lie
We
about
will
the past
succeed.
in order to gain
Our
power in the
country always
present.
wins. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. The rule of law. It is the foundation of our prosperity, our freedom, and our very way of life. But where there is no law, there is no opportunity. Where there is no justice, there is no liberty. Where there is no safety, there is no future. We must never give in to anger or hatred. If malice or violence reigns, then none of us is free. By far, our greatest days lie ahead.
And when I woke from the dream, I woke into a world I did not recognize. In the year 2020, the world broke. But from the ashes of the burned and broken world, how can we begin to grow? How can we use this as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to progress? How can we escape the infectious disease of the mind, the cycles and the layers of fear? But in amongst the voices is the chance to listen to each and every individual. I pose the question, how do we heal in a broken world? What does the word healing mean to you?
I honestly don't know. I mean, it's really weird for me because I have MS. It's like there is no healing, there's no cure, there's no treatment, and that's quite an odd thing to think about. So healing is not something that I will ever experience, something that's only ever going to get worse, not better. Healing means sort of covering over sometimes. I wouldn't even want to answer any more than that.
When did you first get diagnosed with MS?
Probably about 18 years ago. And I think I've been ill for quite a long time with it, but you never get diagnosed immediately because it's quite complicated to diagnose. It's just my reality, literally that's it. And I don't wake up in the morning and think, here's the MS bulletin, I just get on with it. But I did learn something, is that life gives you two choices, and it's cope or don't cope. I just remember thinking I've got two choices now. I can spend the rest of my life dying or I can spend it living. And it's literally from that moment that's what I thought I'm going to do.
What is it that you feel you want to communicate with art or through art?
I mean, I'm very interested in telling hidden stories. And there's so many people with stories that I just never told.
What piece of advice would you give to the, say, 25-year-old version of yourself?
God, I don't know. I'd rule the world if I knew that. It would all change and it's all so different. It would be utterly irrelevant and I wouldn't have listened anyway, so... And I think I was doing okay, you know, it's like I would just say to myself, like, it'll be okay, just keep going with it and don't worry about it.
Let's say that you were part of the healing process. Well, we all are part of the healing process of the world. We all have to be. That is, I think, part of the responsibility is to be the best that one can be and heal oneself to the best of the ability and spread that, you know. Are you pulled by anything in life? Is there a sort of a motivation or this ideal view of the world you have, you're moving towards? Do you have anything like that?
No, no, I don't. I just I tend to take every day as it comes. If the gods want to punish, it's like all those stupid sayings, if the gods want to punish you, they grant you your wishes, and it would, only a fool would imagine that they've got, have a plan or anything like that, because it's just you have no control. You just don't. Whereas we're all finding out now, we're there, we were pootling along and a great big illness arrives and gets everyone or affects everyone's life. And I have not been flummoxed by it because it's not like I saw it coming. It's just that it was always probably going to happen.
See, if this year had started and I was to be told what was to come, I would have been more scared than I was when it actually happened, because when it actually happened, you just have to adapt, you just have to change and get on with it.
That's just it. When I was diagnosed with MS, I mean, if someone had said, oh, this is going to happen, I would have just said, no, can't. But you can, you have no choice, you have to get on with it, and I think that's what we're all doing. Yeah, you just have to. And what choice is there? There isn't a choice. It's like cope or don't cope. It's really clear. You have to find a way to do that.
Joe had mentioned there was a period when you were homeless.
Yeah, I was really poor and I was living in a flat. The landlady sold the flat and I'd been really kind of happy there. It was a really cool place to live. And one day I just got an email that said I'm selling the flat. but then the flat was sold to a landlord who put the rent up, and I thought I paid for as long as I could, but I got really ill, and the council stopped my housing benefit because they said I was earning more than I was and just wouldn't listen. In the end, I was given notice, I had to go, and I just didn't have anywhere to go. It was horrible. It went on for quite a long time, and then I got given this. There were things that happened, like one day you have to declare yourself homeless, and I contacted the council, where do you go? And I have mobility issues. Got to the office they told me about, and they just went, they shut the office and hadn't told everyone. And I just like, what if you have a couple of kids and you're really struggling? I was put in temporary accommodation, and it was away from everybody, and it was really awful. But yeah, it wasn't a good time.
The statement to declare yourself homeless, it's like, obviously it means not having a building, but emotionally I feel that declaration to the world, I am homeless, is, oh god, that's.
I mean, I've always known I'm pretty tough, but again, I have to be. Like, you're not given an invisible helper in the world, and you have to cope. It will be upsetting, but you have to move on, or you will go under. It's like, that's what you have to do. And I had a lot of friends who were people that some of them I didn't even know that well, that were incredibly supportive. So that was really good to know that there was a lot of kindness.
This year specifically, COVID, Black Lives Matters, anything that's happened in this year specifically, I
hope I live long enough to read the history books about this time, because I just think it is a pivotal moment. These are strange times. No wonder everyone's stunned by what's happening. And I remember being in a hospital, and I had lost the sight in my eye, and I was going blind, and the doctor said, it might be MS, and it's like, whoa, might be. That was all I heard. And then I ended up at home. I don't know how I got there. I just remember walking home from the hospital, and I think I was sitting back, and I sort of did the just sobbing, and then I thought, can't do this, you have to pick yourself up. And I think that's maybe what the world's doing now, like realising we have to find a way to do this, that we have to do that, we have to cope with it. We have to find a better way, because it's been madness. And
what do you personally feel the better way is?
I don't know. People are mostly great, but sometimes people are just not. I don't have any insight on that. I wish I did. I'd rule the world and I'd make everything better, but I can't, and I don't.
The word home, what does it mean to you? Do you feel at home with who you are?
Yeah, I suppose so.
For a long part, up until maybe 24, 25, I was absolutely not at home with who I was, and it took that real period of learning to be comfortable with the skin you're in.
I suppose I am comfortable with who I am. I've got no choice in the matter.
How come this place that I was brought up in doesn't seem to shine the way it used to? How come this place is no longer it, and I no longer want to shine? So tell me why I've been brought here. I thought I knew everything. I didn't know a thing. I guess we're all the same. So tell me your story, and I'll tell you mine. I need no reason, I need no right.
Tell me your story, I'll tell you mine. Tell me you love me, and I will be fine. I need no reason, I need no right. I must stay up all the time. Tell me your story, I'll tell you mine. Tell me to stay with me all night. I need no reason, I need no right. I must stay up
What does the word healing mean to you?
Well, I think it's something that all of us should experience in life, and I think we all go through it in different ways, and a lot of us probably don't realise that we need to heal. Ego is always the thing that prevents us from healing, maybe because we don't realise that we're broken from our pasts, really. All depends on your childhood and the environment that you grew up in. But I think healing can be very simple, like being open to love and being open to speaking about love and speaking about the things that you don't like and the things that scare you and the things that prevent you from being yourself, because I think a lot of people are quite scared to be themselves through fear of rejection, probably. Even going to the forest or going to the woods or going for a walk can be quite healing. But I think life in itself is a healing process. I think the whole way through life is a healing process, and it's a work in progress. You can eat too much, or you can drink too much, or you can think too much, or you can smoke too much, or hide away too much, and I think that's just running away from feeling things. If you can't talk about your past without crying, then you've not healed. I think it's a lifelong process, I don't know, and I think everyone processes things differently. I think the quicker you feel, it's going to rhyme, the quicker you heal. Meditation is something I used to look at when I was 19 or 20 and think that was something only monks or that'd be someone in the middle of nowhere with candles and all this kind of thing, and you can do it whilst you're driving or walking, or because the thoughts that we often get are sort of insecure thoughts or negative thoughts, which brings on anxiety, and your mind is a powerful thing, but it's a constant battle. Life's just about challenges and love and about enjoyment and fulfillment, experience. I nearly broke myself one time, actually. In 2009, I fell off a building in Notting Hill. I was on the roof and just drunk and missed my step and fell, and it's like 40 foot and a couple of bones in the neck and the sternum and the rib and blood in the brain. Yeah, so that was a fortunate moment, whether that be angels or the universe saying, "Nah, it's no time yet, mate." I don't really remember the moment falling, like actual falling down, but I remember images, and I just remember like flashlights and darkness and a lot of commotion, and I remember being in the ambulance and complaining about my chest a lot and waking up in hospital, and cop was there and she was telling me how lucky I was, and she was right. That was a lesson probably that I had to learn at that time, so that's how I looked at it when I came out the other side. Luckily, was I was just like, right, I need to behave or start to value things and take a perspective of things, and afterwards I was sort of just like, appreciating things a wee bit more. But it was, that's been a long process, like I've just been happy with where you are, even though it's tough. There's always going to be moments like that. It all feeds a purpose, it all sort of is effective. You treating yourself better and then treating other people better and having the care and the positivity to help them ultimately helps you as well. Something as simple as, speaking to someone who doesn't have a home on the street. Recording music makes me feel alive. Being somewhere where there's a lot of trees and lots of nature. One minute you can be animated and full of a million and one things, and in the next minute you could be completely down on yourself and think you've got nothing. Life is the ultimate trip, really. There's lots of beautiful, great parts that you remember, that you fondly remember, and you reside in the memories at times, because your favourite memories at least, and then your bad memories, if you reside in them too long, it has an effect on you. I think everyone should just live your life. I don't really know what to say apart from that.
This is called Healing in a Broken World. Okay, world's healed. What does it look like?
I think ego would be a thing of the past. Any sort of superficial human emotion I don't think would exist anymore. Ego wouldn't exist, insecurity wouldn't exist, hate wouldn't exist. I think everything stems from pain and lack of love, and it's acted out in different ways. We are this way because, if you think of the average working class person's daily diet, they wake up and they watch the news, and that can be like full of death and worry and anxiety, and they get their kids ready for school and they get them out to school, and then they come back at night and they make dinner and they fuss over things and they relax and then they watch more news, and there's some drama after that where people are dying and crying, and and then more news, and then bed, and doing that every single day, and you wonder why you don't feel so good. So like if we had a different diet, we listened to what we watch, what we chose to spend time with, how we chose to be, because that's what I noticed. That I went for a long time of being really, really bad with anger, like not being able to realise that what I was doing, that kind of thing. And then once I realised, so wait a minute, you're part of this problem, you may have work to do on yourself, that kind of thing. And once you realise that, I think life becomes easier, learning how to pause before reacting to things, and just being an observer, just looking at it and be an observer and just get on with it. It's your experience, it's your life experience, so it's really yours to do with it whatever you want.
Your life is yours. The choice is yours. To allow yourself to grow, to become greater than your circumstance, to build a better you, to build a better world. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in.